We'll now segue into By the Numbers. The future of Ghana's Agenda 111 hospital project now hangs in the balance as petroleum funding for the initiative has been cut off. Launched in 2021 by then-President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the Agenda 111 project was designed to build 111 hospitals across the country, including district, regional and specialized facilities. However, according to the Public Interest and Accountability Committee's 2025 semi-annual report, the project has lost its main source of funding after an amendment to the Petroleum Revenue Management Act by the Finance Ministry. Now, the amendment passed in 2025 under Act 1138 removes the Agenda 111 project and the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund from receiving allocations through the annual budget funding amount, also known as ABFA. Now, PIAC revealed that Agenda 111 had previously received 2.61 billion cedis from petroleum revenues between 2021 and 2024, but no funds were released in 2025. The committee then warns that this decision could stall construction works and delay the completion of hospitals. Let's break it all down for you by the numbers now. Because we also know that PIAC has called on the Finance Ministry to restore petroleum support and ensure that important national projects like Agenda 111 are completed for the benefit of the Ghanaian people. Moina, what are the numbers saying?
You've touched on quite a number of it already in terms of what it is that we've seen when Agenda 111 was launched and perhaps the concern going forward as raised by PIAC. But let's just try and run through the numbers again and paint the picture quite clearly as to what it is that we have on our hands. And so in terms of the total expenditure that has gone towards Agenda 111, we're looking at some 2.61 billion cedis since the project was launched. Somewhere 2020, 2021, thereabout. It was a response to dealing with the challenges of the COVID-19 virus and the need for the country to improve upon its health infrastructure system. And so that's what brought about the Agenda 111 project. And its primary source of fund was from the ABFA, which we've been talking to you about. But between then, that time and 2024, only 2.61 billion cedis was advanced towards the project. And this is what the amount was able to do for us in terms of completing the project. Out of the 101, we know that it went in excess of 111 because there were other specialized hospitals, but it's come to be known as Agenda 111 projects. Hence, we continue to call it that. But it went beyond the 111 hospital project, which was originally intended to other specialized hospitals and the likes and district hospitals, amongst many other things. And so of all of that number, here's what we know, that only 3 was completed between that time from that 2.61 billion cedis. 108 remain uncompleted or in some cases haven't started at all, and then 36 have stalled. And so these are the numbers in terms of what the 2.61 billion cedis has been able to get for us. 3 completed. We're still yet to get confirmation as to whether some of them have begun to become operational. But there are 108 of such facilities uncompleted or not started at all, and then 36 which is yet to, which has stalled. But here's what the president has had to say in relation to the Agenda 111 project, where he says that we're requiring in excess of 22 billion cedis to complete all of the hospital projects for Agenda 111. And I mentioned to you it exceeds 111, but it's come to be known as Agenda 111 project. But in terms of the source of funds, we know that it was from the ABFA, and since 2021 to 2024, there's been 2.61 billion cedis advanced to it. But for this year, no amount has been advanced towards it because the government has amended the laws and is channeling all of the petroleum funds into the big push. We heard the president speak and apologize in one breath, saying the entire country is going to become a construction zone of some sort. That's why no amount in this year has gone towards this. And so it remains to be seen, really, what then becomes of the Agenda 111 project. And that's what I was talking to you about. This was the old Petroleum Revenue Management Act, as it then was, and the disbursement towards respective sectors. We had health, education, roads, and then energy as well. But now we're seeing a chunk of it following that amendment going to the big push, which begins to have us ask the question, what happens? But here's what the president says he's asked the health minister to do, even as the questions continue to come through thick and fast as to whether or not we will see the completion of these hospital projects. If all will be completed, what will be the target amongst many other things to complete some of them? Let's hear from the president exactly as to what he intends doing.
Whether in remote rural communities or high-density urban centers, our aim is the same: a health facility within reach of every Ghanaian. Cabinet is awaiting a report from the Honorable Minister of Health on the status and stage of completion of the Agenda 111 hospitals to determine a way forward for their completion.
So that's the president on what is expected to be done. We're yet to get word of that audit report, which will advise the government as to the ways forward, but this is what we know, Kemeni, in terms of
and I'll add that the health ministry seems to be behind of his own schedule, because you remember about a month ago I sat down with him for an interview. He had made the same assertion that they were auditing the Agenda 111 projects because they needed to know which ones are viable to continue and which ones aren't, and he had promised that it was coming out soon. The timeline he had given, it would appear that he's behind that schedule. We hope that that information will be made public soon, or at least
because it's already
reach the presidency, so we know what else or how else to proceed as far as the 111 projects are concerned.
And I was going to just add that it's already becoming a topic for political discussions. We've heard the former vice president on his tour as well, mentioning that when he returns, he will seek to complete these projects, seeking to suggest that they have been abandoned. And so it's important that that report is made public. Then we know the way forward.
Absolutely.